Okay, let's talk about this. What's going on, y'all? It's the Wavy One here. Now, recently I was on Twitch, the streaming website, and I was in someone's chat, and we were talking about exercise, which it comes up every now and then. Most people stay inside and they don't exercise. So, but every now and then you get a couple people who do, and so the topic gets brought up, and usually something that I always say is that it's like, oh well, why people find it so hard to lose weight, and I just typed in there like, oh, people can't lose weight because they're lazy, and it was a female streamer. I'm not gonna say who it was. If you really want to try to figure out who it was, I will let you know that she is Asian, and yeah, she's a girl. So yeah, that's like trying to find a needle in a haystack. I know because there's quite a few of them on Twitch. But anyway, this is not to focus on her. It's to focus on health. So yeah, I said what I said, and then she was like, "No, I disagree with that. Most people aren't lazy. It's people have bad genetics." And I'm like, "What?" Okay, instant cop out. I'm done. I'm out of there. Cognitive. What do they call it? I'm done. I can't. Genetics. I have heard that so many times over the years. Okay, I have been doing this fitness and health thing for nearly a decade now. Okay, using myself as a test subject multiple times over the years. I have gone from being someone who is overweight to someone who is fit, okay, who looks lean, to someone who has a six pack and doesn't have to flex to show that I have a six pack. I'm someone who used to want to be a personal trainer. I've trained plenty of people. I was deep in the, bodybuilding world, bodybuilding YouTube community. So, I mean, I used to follow dudes like Mark Lobliner from Tiger Fitness, Brandon Carter. You got, the Hodge twins. You've got, Physiques of Greatness, which, they split off. And then, Chris Jones created Pump Chasers. And Chris Jones is like the only person who I still follow to this day. But, I mean, you got two buff dudes. You got Scooby. You got just so many people who I've followed over the years. Okay, and this always comes up, genetics, and it's funny because if you listen to the experts, right, the experts even tell you that this genetics thing is bullshit because you got all these different trainers and they say they've come across countless people who say they have bad genetics, but then when they get on my plan, not my plan, their plan, but I mean, when I get people on my plan as well, and this is not a video to promote any of my plans because I'm not selling any of my plans right now. So, but yeah, like when they get with someone who actually knows what they're doing, the whole genetic thing seems to disappear and go out the window. Now, yes, I will admit there are some people who don't have the best genetics, right? And it is going to be a little bit harder for them to reach their fitness goals, but it's not impossible. We just have to keep working with it and tweaking, what exactly you're doing. And you might have to be more strict, more methodical, more laser focused on what exactly it is you're doing than someone who, say, has better genetics. Okay? But yeah, for the most part, the whole genetics thing is a bunch of bullshit, and it's what lazy people say to justify the fact that, well, it didn't work out in a week, so I guess it just doesn't work. Or, it's like, hey, I wasn't doing ABC, certain things that I should have been doing that would have better, helped to get me where I wanted to go, but since I wasn't willing to do those things, that means that I got bad genetics, man. It's just not for me. So I will give you 4 things to keep in mind that will most likely, if you make sure that you're paying attention and you're conscious of these four things, you will never in your life utter that you have bad genetics. Okay, because you will be putting in the work and doing what needs to be done that like anyone can do, and it's like, yeah, the whole bad genetics thing is for the most part a cop out. And everyone is entitled to their opinions, but let's see what you look like. Let's see your physique. Let's put your training methodology to the test. Anyone who says, bad genetics and all this, like, I don't know. Give the people who have bad genetics, give them your training methodology. Like, I'm talking to the people who actually know what they're talking about, like a trainer or something like that, someone who's been working out for 10 plus years. Okay, whatever you did to get fit, give your exact plan to someone with bad genetics, and let's see if they get results based on your training protocols. If you look anything worth mentioning, then I guarantee they will probably get good results on your protocol, which will prove my point that genetics is bullshit for the most part. But number one, most people are fucking lazy. Most people don't even work out. And it's crazy that people who are overweight, no, scratch that. It's crazy how people want something out of this life, yet they aren't willing to give anything. Okay, there is no free lunch. There is no free ride. There is no such thing as free. The universe abhors a vacuum. Okay, when there's an empty space, something will come to fill it. You bomb these people, well, someone's going to come take their place. You get rid of this guy in the company, well, someone's got to take his place, right? You kick your bitchy girlfriend out because she was nagging you and keeping you from those gains. Physically, mentally, spiritually, monetarily. Well, I can guarantee you, if you're doing what you need to do as a man, there's a million, no joke, there's a million women out there who want you. Now, of course, you might not have met them all, but at one point you didn't even know her. So come on now. But there is no, you go to the store, those aren't free samples. Someone paid for that stuff to even be in the store. Okay, the person handing out the samples, someone's paying them to hand you the sample, right? It's called marketing and advertising. There is no free, right? Your friend, my friend gave me a free this, a free ride, a free jacket, a pair of shoes, some money just because. No, that wasn't free. You've been making investments into that friend. And based on the investments that you've made, you were able to withdraw favor from that friend in the form of some free stuff. So there is no free. You are not going to get a body that you can be confident in if you don't get off of your ass and put in some work. What did they say back in the day? Let's get physical. You gotta get physical. You gotta get up. You gotta move. You gotta groove. Okay? You're not gonna get what you want if you don't put something in. Okay? You reap what you sow. You want to get a good dividend. Okay? A return on your investment. Well, if you're not willing to invest, what do you think you're going to get on the back end? Okay, most people be honest. Or maybe if you're someone who's in the industry, right? Maybe all your friends do work out. Maybe if you're a trainer, yeah, maybe more so people you know, they do work out. But most people you know don't work out. Majority of your family don't work out. Majority of your friends don't work out. The people you went to school with don't work out. The people you work with don't work out. Why is this such a crazy concept? Like, people don't work out, they're fucking lazy. Okay? You think you're going to become rich being an employee? But you see, the people who start a business, it's easy for them to get rich because they started a business, because they're a boss, because they invested. They bet on black. And I just say, I was kind of talking about myself because I'm in all black, right? You got to bet on black. You got to bet on yourself. You got to invest in yourself. That's the only way to win. You're investing in someone else's dream helps for them to accomplish their dream. And unless, unless it's one of the homies, or you really got one of them good jobs that they talk about, you're not getting rich being an employee. You're wasting your time, and the more time that you waste, the less time you have to do. So that's my 2 cents on that one. Stop being lazy. Make a change. Go exercise. Go do something, and you will be able to gain something. It's give and take. That's all it is. Simple mathematics. Energy exchange. Nothing complicated about it. Only thing to it is to do it. Point number 2 is diet. What you eat. Not only what you eat through the mouth, but what you're ingesting, period. Mentally, through the ears. What are you ingesting? Where is your time being spent? If you spend all your time doing things that aren't going to make you better, make you money, make you smarter, get you towards your fitness goals, then you're kind of wasting time. And I'm not saying you got to focus like majority of your day, working, because I don't believe in that either. Like, oh man, I work so hard, I work so much. If you got to work that much, I'm a believer in work smarter, not harder. Like I said, with the whole business thing, a lot of people go from working 8 hours a day at a job to working 12, 16 hours a day in their own business. And I'm kind of thinking, yeah, you might have to do that for a while, but you need to set it up to where, I shouldn't have to work this much. I mean, that's just me personally. That's just I don't want to work much at all. Okay, so I would find a big money game. Okay, because if you want the big money, you got to go where the big money's at. All right, so find you a big money game, and then, bam, go in on that. That way you can, for a little bit of your time, you get a big return, but you still got to put in that time. You can't just not do nothing. You're going to have to put in some work. You're going to have to get a little bit uncomfortable. You're going to have to sweat. You're going to have to get dirty. You might even have to bleed for what you believe in. But do you really believe in what you're saying? Or are you full of hot air? Like a lot of people, New Year's is coming. There's going to be a lot of people at the gym. There's going to be a lot of people at Planet Fitness, at 24 Fitness, at Gold's Gym, at one of your local little spots, right? The local spots, okay? Shop local, work out local. But within a week, they're going to stop. Within a month, they're going to stop. And then it's, like, oh, well, I tried to work out, but that didn't work out. And here we are, on the rat wheel, in the same place, going nowhere, wishing something was different, fantasizing instead of actualizing. Mm. Fantasy instead of reality. I ain't preaching. I'm just teaching. Come on now. But yeah, you don't be wasting your time on a bunch of like nonsensical things and people. Yeah, you can have fun. Yeah, you have your downtime. But you gotta make sure, if you're complaining, if you're longing, if you're still doing too much fantasizing, right? Maybe shift your energy and put a little bit more of it into growing yourself and not just, chilling out, relaxing. Now, more so to the food, because a lot of people say that they have a good diet. Oh, I have a great diet. I don't even eat that bad. And majority of people who say they don't even eat that bad, I'm just like, are you, wow. People really have no idea what like good nutrition actually is. And it shows, right? Mainly around the midsection, in your face, right? Under the arms, around back, it shows that you don't know what you're talking about, right? And I don't look the best right now, okay? I ain't even gonna lie, I'm not in my final form right now. I powered down, right? Goku is not always in Super Saiyan, right? Sometimes he's relaxing. Sometimes he's back to the black, okay? And that's okay, right? But as I've said, I've done it multiple times. I've gone from this weight, down to a weight where I'm more lean and fit. And for me, it's effortless because I know what I'm doing. And what I do works for me. So you got to find what works for you, because there's a lot of different things that people could do, but you just got to do something. And at the end of the day, you can always tweak and change things up, but there's nothing to change if there is nothing. It's like 0 plus 0 is still 0. If you're not doing anything, there's like how do you get feedback if you're not even doing anything? So don't just, you got to do something. But back to the diet, the food. So many people just don't know what they're doing. And I will tell you right now, if you want to lose fat, right, get rid of that fat via the diet. Because honestly, the diet it's pretty big. It's like that's why they say bodies are made in the kitchen and not in the gym. Because you can be working out as hard as you want. If you got a shit diet, you're just not going to look that good. Yeah, you might be able to build some muscle, but it's not going to look that good because it's going to be covered in fat. Like, you're not going to be shredded. You're not going to be ripped. You're not going to be lean and defined. Okay? Like, yeah, you might increase your strength, increase your cardiovascular, your endurance, things like that. But overall, you're not really going to get to where you actually want to go. It's just like hopping in a car and just like, yeah, whatever. I don't have a destination. Okay, I don't have a route. A to B. Like, just drive around a while. Like, whatever. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, no, come, like, what do you want? Realize what do you want and create a plan of attack of how to get there. And the food is how you're going to get there. But you got to cut out all the processed crap. You can't be eating Oreos and donuts and all these things all the time. It's just not, right? The Starbucks and all these different coffees and drinks with a ton of sugar in them. Now, I'm not talking about natural fructose. Don't get it twisted. There is nothing wrong with natural fruit sugar. That is a myth. If you don't believe me, test it, right? I don't want nobody commenting under this video talking, people who ain't never did nothing with their life. because I've gotten lean with an omnivore diet as well as a plant-based diet. Okay? I'm the one who does things like eats nothing but watermelon for 3 months. I'm that guy. Okay? So you got to realize, like, a lot of things that people say, I know from experimenting on myself that they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. But they're so confident in running their mouth. And that's okay. We're all entitled to our opinions. Free speech. Free speech. Unless you talk about certain people. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Got him. Not doing that. But yeah, it's like some people just like, come on now. By your fruits you shall know them. Like, if you can't see a picture, when someone says that they know anything about fitness, ask to see their body or a picture of their body, you know, when they actually were on their plan or they actually put in the work with someone else's plan and they actually got down to a point where they can say, without a shadow of a doubt, confidently, like, yo, I was in good shape in this picture. Okay, and I did this, and this. All right. And then, if they're not in that shape right now, tell them to do it again. Tell them to do it again. Come check back with us in 3 to 6 months, and then I will fully believe you. All right? The picture is going to be a little bit of the proof, but then, you know, hey, if you say it can't be done, then, hey, I want to see your methodology. Anyway. Right? I get on my little rants. I love them. But fruit sugar. Don't be afraid of fruit sugar. It's the most nutrient-dense food on the planet. Fruits and vegetables. It's undeniable. It's got the structured water in there, which is going to help you to detox and cleanse the body. It's going to hydrate you. I mean, everything you eat eats plants, but you're afraid to do it. It's like, everything you eat either eats the fruits and vegetables or they eat another animal that eats fruits and vegetables. And we're all wondering, like, hey, none of us can create our own nutrients. None of us can create our own nutrients. But stay away from the source where the nutrients come from. That shit is crazy. People are psycho. I don't understand why people listen to them. But it's the programming. It's the programming indoctrination. I get it. I do know why. I'm just being silly here. But yeah, watch what you eat. Cut out the processed foods. At least, can we agree, guys? Can at least 50% of what we eat be fruits and vegetables? Preferably more so fruits because they're just better. They just are, right? They're, like I said, more hydrating, more nutrients, more cleansing for the body. It's got the fiber in there. It's going to clean you out. Like a lot of y'all aren't really fat. You are, but you are. Don't get me wrong. Like, but it's not so much weight as it is waste. Your body is holding on to a bunch of toxic waste from all the processed foods and the chemicals and the oils and the chemicals and you know, like, and all this stuff that, in all honesty, Homo sapiens were not meant to consume. Okay, the cooked foods, you know, the coagulated fats, all these different things that just like, it's like there's an excess of consumption of these things, and your body's gonna hold on to that, accumulated as fat, and that is why you're fat. Not necessarily because of what you're eating all the way, you know, 100%. But yeah, some of the things that you are eating and have eaten, okay, your body is still holding on to that waste. And once you cleanse the body, fruits, vegetables, herbs, hydration, you will let a lot of that waste go. And therefore, you will lose weight on the scale. So a lot of you, if you just stop eating processed foods, if you cut certain things out of your diet, within a week, a month, you would definitely see a drastic change. I guarantee you. Test it out if you think I'm lying. Test me. Test me. Okay? I know what I'm talking about, and I love you. So I'm just here to help. If my help's not wanted, best of luck to you, gentlemen. Pulp Fiction quote, Mr. White, remember? But number 3, it's getting dark on me, but number 3, we have to talk about training. And when it comes to training, a lot of people, they're either under training or they're overtraining. And both of those is just as bad. Because the best way to burn fat and build muscle, macho man, the best way to burn fat and build muscle is to pick up heavy shit and put it down. Strength training. You got to pick up some weight that is going to be a little bit of a struggle for you. Okay? Pick up the heavy weights, heavy enough that it is, like I say, it's going to make you work, but light enough so that you can have proper form. Because we always want to maintain proper form. It's just best to help target the specific muscle groups that we're attempting to target with these exercises, as well as prevention of injury, because then you get injured, you can't work out. If you can't work out, then you're not going to build muscle. You're not going to burn fat. So you got to pick up heavy weight. And a lot of women, they don't want to lift heavy. So if you go to the gym, you see all those women on the treadmill, and that's all they do is cardio. You know, that's cardio's good. There's because on the other end of the spectrum, there's a lot of the meatheads. There's a lot of the bros who don't do any cardio. They don't do nearly enough cardio because cardio is going to burn you. It's going to take all your muscles away from you. No, it's not. It's like, now, yeah, if you do too much cardio, yeah, maybe. But no, cardio, like, you know, like a bike ride, like that's not really gonna do like a whole lot to you, you know? Like, I think y'all are just scared of cardio, just like a lot of people are scared of working their legs. So that's why they got like their bodies look like a V, like, you know. And the V taper, you know, the V taper is nice, but come on, we see those legs. Come on, don't skip leg day. Like, ladies like glutes too, guys. Ladies like some ham, you know, them hammies, them strong hams. Come on now, shit, right? And boys, you know you love those quads that kill. You see her, you be seeing her. we be looking at the same thing. So you can lie if you want, but it is what it is. Ladies, we love what you're doing. We love it. We love it. Keep doing it. Keep doing that, queen. Keep it up. However, you're going to need to lift some weights too, right? And most women are afraid because they don't want to look all buff and masculine, which is just, this myth has been circulating for so long. Women's bodies and men's bodies are built differently. We have something called testosterone. Ladies, y'all have it too, but we have it in, I don't want to say excess, but we have way more testosterone than y'all do. And that is what helps us to look the way that men look. You don't have nearly as much. And unless you're in like the top 5%, you know, of the genetic lottery for women, naturally, you will never be able to look like that, no matter how much you work out. And a lot of these chicks who are promoting fitness and they look super muscular and masculine, it's because they're on the juice, right? That is not a natural body. Like, what's her name? I'm not even going to say that, but the beef chick, right? I'm just saying. I'm pretty sure I saw a video where she said she wasn't natty, actually. But I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure she was also interviewing someone who said he wasn't natty. But I could be wrong. I don't know. But, I mean, she's gorgeous. I ain't gonna lie. She's gorgeous. Like, don't get me wrong. She's beautiful. I'm just saying, I don't prefer my women to be that muscular. But, I mean, my women are going to work out, right? But anyway, but yeah, most of you women, you will never be able to get that muscular. It's just not genetically, physically, DNA levelly possible for you to, get super bulky muscles. So don't worry about that. Go in there, lift those heavy weights, still do your cardio, because cardio is just as important. But remember to lift heavy, get that sweat going, tear up that muscle fiber. That way it can build back better and stronger. Now, on the other end of the spectrum, we have the overtrainers. Y'all who, want to be in the gym for an hour, 2 hours a day, just crazy to me. But, I've never wanted to be in the gym that long. So I always kept my stuff short. I've always been a 3-day-a-week, full body type of person. So I like to get in, get out, get the biggest bang for my buck, hit the muscle groups, do what I do, and go. But, that's just the training style that I prefer. I'm not saying that's the best. I'm not saying that's what you should do. But if I were to coach you, that's what you would do. But, that's just, like I said, that's just my preferred style. And that has helped me to get great results over the years. So, but you can do anything. What you shouldn't do, though, is overtraining. Because overtraining, you're going to get injured. That takes time away from the gym. That's going to mess with your gains. You're going to overtrain, which is going to make the recovery process take longer, which is going to hurt your gains. Okay? All these people out here lifting weight that using proper form, they would not be able to lift. And you see them every now and then in the gym. And it's just like, yeah, just because you can lift it doesn't necessarily mean that that's a good thing, Now there is, more of a kind of like a Elliot Hulse training style, kind of more of a primal strength training type of style where, Elliot Hulse, he has people, lifting up big boulders and, doing tire flips and things like that. Stuff that's not like a dumbbell that fits nicely into your hand. Like, you can train with that type of stuff. It's not wrong. But that's that, and, using a dumbbell or a bench press and using a weight that's too much for what you can do properly, safely, that's just not a smart thing to do. And that's going to lead to injury. That's going to lead to, it taking long for you to recover, which is going to keep you away from working out, which is going to keep you away from your goals. So don't undertrain, don't overtrain. And point number 4 is rest and recovery, because sleep is very important for the body. Now, I'm someone who doesn't need that much sleep, and I still look pretty good, but I've been able to achieve the physique that I wanted. I don't want to look like a Super Saiyan. I don't want to look like, a freaking DC, Marvel comic superhero. They got them on the juice these days, right? They're just every muscle group you can see perfectly. And it's like, they didn't look like that back in the day. But, hey, that's what some people like, right? That's what some people like. Do what you do. I'm going to do what I do. So, yeah, but you got to rest. You got to rest. You got to relax. You have to alleviate stress from your life, because stress is going to keep you away from your gains. Cortisol production, an excess of cortisol, is going to keep you away from your gains. It's going to make it hard to lose weight. It's going to make it hard to recover. It's going to make it hard to get a good night's sleep. So you have to make sure that you structure your life in a way that you're not getting stressed out, whether it's from a significant other, friends, family, job life, like just being alive in general, in 2025, when it's like we don't even know if we don't know what's in the food, right? But yeah, man, it's a lot going on. But do your best not to trip, right? Go outside, do some grounding, do some breath work practices. Find these practices, meditation, things that can help you learn to find the calm within yourself. And like I said, when you are eating certain foods, you have to realize that all these things break down, okay? And the byproducts of these foods have an effect on our bodies. Some of these foods break down and have an alkaline, I don't know why I'm talking like that. Some of these foods break down and have an alkaline byproduct, which isn't going to harm your body at all. Some foods break down and have an acidic byproduct, which is not good for your body. So there's so many things that we could really talk about, but those are the 4 main points that I wanted to talk about. I thought this would be a good topic to bring up because it happens every now and then. You know, you got these girls who, I don't know, they might work out. I don't know. I don't know. For the most part, I don't. A lot of people don't work out, but then they have opinions about working out. And I'm okay with everyone having their opinions. Just certain people, you know, it's like you shouldn't even get upset when you hear them talk because you know that they don't really know what the hell they're talking about. But anyway, this was a video. If you got some comments, let me know. If you want to hear my opinion, my thoughts about something else, like I said, I've been doing this for about a decade now. No, actually, I've been doing it for over 10 years. I'm almost on year 12 now, actually. Like where I've really kind of just been doing it for real. Yeah, I'm almost at, because when I got back into working out and was really really on point with it and serious with it was 2014. Yeah, 2014. So yeah, I've been doing this for over a decade actually. So, extra credibility. But I hope someone that was able to learn something. Maybe I helped someone out in this video. Don't be fucking lazy, right? Because most people's problem is laziness. Stop being lazy. Get up, get out, and do something. Don't let the days of your life pass you by. All right, peace. Much love. I'll catch y'all in the next video. Out.